One of the most common questions I get asked is how I buy meat and keep it in budget. And so we're going to do an entire playlist on this for you. And today we're going to start with chicken. If you don't know who I am, my name is Amy Cross and I'm the founder of the Cross Legacy. We also have a membership called the Grocery Solution, where you can be a part of the course that we teach and the Facebook community group, where you get new content all throughout the month to help save you money. Okay, one of the things I want to say that is really important is I didn't go grocery shopping to film this video. We grabbed things that were already in my freezer, and you can see over the course of the last couple months where I made budget choices first. So on average, I spend $135 per person per month for our grocery budget. We do have college-age kids and we've been foster parents, so our family size changes over the years. And currently, our grandmother just moved in with us, so our budget changed again a little bit. But I base it on $135 per person, even in this time of inflation. 10 years ago, it used to be $100 per person per month. And I found that since I started trying to buy more organic and wholesome things for our family, I did bump that up to $135. And even during the last couple of years with prices going crazy, I've been able to stick to that. So I think that's really important. We show my grocery hauls all of the time. Whenever I step foot into a store, I'm posting it so you can really see that what I say is truthful and it can be done. And all the food in my house has been following that same budget. So as you see in front of me, I have just a great big bag of chicken, and I have organic chicken. And this is just a vacuum packed, not organic chicken. So over the course of the last 6 months or whatever, I've made budget choices when I've been at the grocery store, and sometimes it means getting the less expensive bag of chicken. So Mike is an engineer, and I was just talking to him because he likes to do the math for me, and I was like, hey, this bag of chicken used to be $24 and now it's $36. And I was like, is this right? Is that really a 50% increase in our meat cost from going from $24 to $36? So overall, our grocery costs have went up 30% in the last couple of years, but chicken is one of those that has actually increased 50%. But if you're able to follow some of these recipes I'm going to share, you're going to be able to still have meat in your grocery budget and spread it out for more meals so you're cooking less and have less dishes. Since I do buy most of my chicken at Costco, I'm going to kind of talk about this a little bit. So these big bags are in the freezer section, and it actually says that it's good for like 9 months, but after you open this bag, they get freezer burned so quickly. So I try to only ever have one bag in the freezer at a time, and I want to use it kind of as quickly as possible. So that's another great reason why I batch cook things and I put them in freezer safe containers, because then they will last longer after they're prepped in a different container. So kind of think about that when you are buying things, even if they are in your budget, is how quickly are you going to actually use them. So for getting this kind of chicken, I do it very rarely. So I must have been on the verge of putting something else back and decided to get the bag of chicken instead of the organic chicken the day that I was doing this. But normally I get these organic packages, which come in a 3-pack, and these are in the fresh section of Costco. And one of them I will normally keep in the refrigerator for a few days. I never ever make chicken strips a day I go grocery shopping, but I normally will make chicken strips with the first batch. We have the recipe for that in the blog, which we will link in the description below. But I will use the fresh chicken just right straight the next couple days after I go grocery shopping, and then the other 2 packages that I buy, I put those into the freezer. So before I freeze any of them, I always cut them apart, because it seems like you do need to take scissors, they don't rip. And I make sure that none of them are leaking before I put them in the freezer. So if there is one that happens to open up a little bit, that's the one that I'm going to make sure that I use from the refrigerator first. I'll put it in a safe container, and then the other 2 that are completely sealed are the ones that I put straight into the freezer. I do like that these are already in the 2-pound packages, which is just perfect for our family. These just get really freezer burned really quickly. So if you're able to buy the meat that's already in the vacuum sealed, either the organic or the regular, they do last longer. So sometimes it is better to go look over in that fresh meat section and not just the frozen meat section. I just want to say for everybody, however you are able to feed your family and whatever the best choices are for your family that are within budget, you do that. So I am just trying to teach you what I do and how sometimes I have to make sacrifices and choices for what I'm doing. But I just want the food that you're bringing home that you are wanting to feed your family, you're actually being able to use it and it's not going to waste. So sometimes that's organic and sometimes it's not, and that is okay. So we normally eat chicken twice a week, and when I'm planning ahead for that, I will make sure that I'm making enough that I don't have to actually cook it 2 times a week and dirty my Instapot. So what I normally do is make, instead of 2 or 3 breasts, I will make 4 to 6 chicken breasts at a time in my Instapot. That normally only takes between like 12 and 14 minutes of the pressurizing time to do that. So there's still like the warming up time and the release time, but the actual cook time is around 12 to 14 minutes to cook the chicken. Now, normally when I'm cooking chicken and I'm going to use it for another recipe, I am very basic in what I use on it. I will just put, you know, things like salt, pepper, and my garlic and herb seasoning on it, just so I can repurpose it different ways. I also will cook it in the oven in a casserole dish, and when I'm cooking it in the oven, then I'll normally put, you know, barbecue sauce or different teriyaki sauces. We have that one on the blog too, if you want to check out my allergy-friendly teriyaki sauce that doesn't have any soy in it. But if I'm cooking it in the oven, that's normally when I put sauces on it, but I only put sauce on half of it, and the other half I will leave not plain, I will leave it seasoned, so we can reuse it. Some of the ways that I reuse the chicken, so it doesn't seem like we're having the same exact meal, is I make chicken gyros. And I have a special gyro sauce that I use that I have linked in the grocery solution. So make sure that you're checking that out down below. But that is one of the ways that I only dirty my Instapot 1 time a week instead of 2, and we still have leftovers, but it doesn't feel like leftovers, and using a pretty inexpensive meat. Something else I like to do is go ahead and cook like 6 chicken breasts at a time, and I will make like chicken enchiladas. And if you didn't know, when you're trying to shred a whole bunch of chicken breasts after they're cooked, if you put it in a KitchenAid mixer or have a hand mixer, you can shred it really quickly. But I normally cook about 6 chicken breasts at a time, and I will make enchiladas to last us months. So I put them in dinner-sized portions after we have it for dinner. But I put the extras in dinner-sized portions and put those in the freezer, and then we can just pull out dinner whenever we need it, and we have it all ready to go. The other thing is, if you don't want to make all of the enchiladas and freeze them at one time, you can still make the filling for it and freeze it. Either way you do it, it's really easy to have dinner on the table quickly on a busy night. So those are a couple different recipe ideas right here for you, but make sure that you stay tuned. This is going to be an entire playlist of how I buy meat and save money on groceries. If you're looking for more chicken dinner ideas, make sure that you check out my chicken rotisserie video that is linked in the description.